Hey everybody! Welcome to a new episode of Who's That Anime with your host Steve and Colin, and we're still talking about Trigun because we're only on episode 4. 4.
Yeah,
Seems like
four.
should be on episode 24.
It's not not in a bad way, right?
Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. So earlier, just before we started recording, uh, oh, I mentioned Steve. I learned an interesting fact, and it was because instead of saying testing on the test recording, I went testicles, and then there's no balls on elephants. Apparently, elephants don't have balls.
Huh.
They don't have sacks hanging underneath them because,
Did they keep them in their trunks?
well, I mean, for Americans, yes,
Oh yeah, I guess.
they're in they're inside. Apparently,
Oh,
the sacks are inside.
okay. I mean that kind of makes sense. Like,
That, yeah.
because all ovaries are is differently evolved testicles, and they're on the inside.
I mean, suppose, yeah. But
I think that's what that is.
yeah, it made me think of like, how long is their penis? Because
Okay.
where does that start? Does that start at like the sacs, or does it start when it extrudes from the body?
None of this is a great topic.
I did try to warn you.
You did. You did. I was like, no, you know what? I need something. I need something for this episode.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I was wrong.
You
Maybe.
were. I think you were. Anyway, hey people, we're a bit behind this week, so this is coming
Yep.
live on the day after it usually comes live
Yep.
on.
Apologies. It has been a busy week, and we're at a slight delay. However, that being said, we are now going to talk about Trigun Episode 4, Hungry.
Not anymore. I just had my tea. Anyway,
Uh,
I was also going to say about the video will be a day later.
oh, that too. It's fine. Like, but we
No
we
longer
appreciate that
synchronous.
definitely takes a lot more effort than the audio side of it, where
Yeah,
I have a template that I throw it into and then slide some things around.
it takes a bit longer. Yeah, it's just more down to the encoding of it all. Anyway, yes, hunger.
Yes. So we left off, obviously, with the traumatic last episode where Knives decided to purge an entire town with his knives,
Mhm.
and leaving Vash walking out into the desert to head to the new promise of July.
What you should have said there actually, with knife, knives, millions of knives,
Millions knives.
millions of knives. Why do you think you got the name, man?
I mean, I told my brother, I was like, it's like, oh, you should see this. It's nuts. And he's like, that's interesting. And I was like, his name is Knives. And he's like, well, that's on point. And I was like, better than that. His name is Millions Knives. And he's like, huh,
How many knives does he have?
okay. It's like, well, millions, quite frankly.
Millions.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So
Uh,
he's heading away to July. In tow, of course, is Roberto and Meryl.
mhm.
And I think this episode actually starts off with us introducing a new character very briefly before we get to the intro now.
Yeah, the three worm hunters.
Yeah.
They're
And they see a dude in the distance.
yeah, a dude in the distance, and then comment that he's wearing a suit, and that's not the right attire for the desert.
They're not wrong.
No, they're not wrong. And then Kyric's intro.
I think, did they not say he's not going to last long
Oh,
like
they
that?
also yeah,
And
because he's wearing a
did they
suit.
comment on the thing he's carrying? I can't remember.
Uh, Oh, maybe.
I don't remember if they do or not. Either way, you're right. It kind of goes to the intro, and then we're in the car, the
Hmm.
GP thing
Yep.
with Meryl, Roberto, and Vash. Vash is hanging out in the back, just kind of sitting about, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, there's a there's a person in the middle of the road," and Meryl was not paying enough attention to the road. Uh,
She was.
oh no, wait, Roberto was not paying enough attention to the road. Someone wasn't paying enough attention to the
No,
road.
no, it was Meryl.
It was
Uh,
Meryl.
but oh, I think Roberto was going to eat Vash's sandwich because he hasn't eaten anything
That's
since
he
that
hasn't
time.
touched anything since the incident. Oh, that bit where loads of people were murdered by your brother. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember.
And then I don't know. Meryl was berating him about something as she does.
She does love to just needle him about everything.
Yeah, and I think that's how she didn't see the suited man.
Oh yes, who just
And
appears as if from nowhere.
yeah, and she misses him with the car, but like proper whacks him with the trailer.
It's really quite amusing. Like it just like gets properly fly swatted off his feet.
Yeah.
And then of course they're like, "Oh shit. Uh okay, get him in the back of the car. No dying on my watch," says Meryl. Uh
Yeah.
we need to find someone. And they find some sort of, I think it's like a gas station or something like that, some sort of fueling station.
Mhm.
Uh and they drag him in. He's definitely looking quite worse for wear in the back of the the car as he's kind of like bobbing around like this with his nose bleeding, and Vash trying to hold him up.
Yeah, yeah. And
It's pretty
then
good. It's a pretty good intro, to be fair.
yeah, I can't remember how he was introduced in the first one.
I seem to remember. Excuse me. He was wandering through the desert in that, and just props up his accompaniment that he's bringing with him,
Hmm.
which was to say at this point is basically a big fucking cross covered in like a tarp.
Hmm. Good a good crucifix.
Oh yeah, uh,
Seems appropriate this time of
it's
year.
getting closer. Uh, but yeah, they drag him in there, him looking not so great, and they soon discover that it seems like the people who ran the station have been murdered. And then he starts to sort of walk about on his own, and he's not struggling quite as much anymore. So probably the shock has worn off.
Yeah. Uh and then they find someone cowering
Like a locker or something.
in the locker or something, yeah.
Yeah, just a
And
young
he's
kid.
yeah. And they basically bury the bodies and the kids just kind of crying a while. Oh, oh.
My favorite part of this whole thing is uh, our new friend trying to balance his cross in the sand so that it doesn't fall over
Mm.
next to the bodies, and then he like properly pops a squat like next to the buried, next to the dead, has a smoke, says some has a drink, last rites, and
Mhm.
drops his bottle. And Meryl's like, this is terrible. You're not a priest." And he's like, "No, no, I'm actually an undertaker."
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, the cross is probably appropriate.
Mhm.
Um, and of
Yeah.
course, it's just like, oh, this is really disrespectful. The
Mhm.
kid's right there.
Yeah. And then he goes over to the
Uh,
kid and brings out a lollipop. And goes, hey, kid, kind of got to tough
it's
it
so
out.
good.
I know this orphanage or something.
Yeah, well, it's like it's interesting because he's like, hey, here, have this. It's good. It's a lolly. I'm gonna have one. And then they both have a lolly, and he's like, yeah, you're an orphan now. I know what that's like. I was in an orphanage once. Uh, it's like this is just a really awkward conversation. And then he's like, but you should smile.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, okay, sure, sure. And then he's like, kind of grinning manically at this child who's, as we assume, has just lost their parents or lost their family. It's just like makes them smile, and you're like, all right, sure. At least they're not miserable. Guess this'll do.
yeah. And then he hands him the bill.
That's beautifully timed.
Yeah,
Here's the bill for my services. 20,000 double dollars.
yeah,
What the you never told us you were doing anything. What services? Like, well, gotta make money, This is my
yeah,
job.
yeah. It was yeah. Oh, you literally volunteered. You were out there
Yeah.
burying the bodies before we even knew it.
Is this where I think this is maybe where Vash steps in and is like, no, no, it's okay. It's okay. He's fine. Let's not antagonize him. And I think does he introduce himself at this point? There's a bit where Vash and he shake hands.
uh, yeah, I think so. I remember Roberto kind of stepping in, going, "Yo, what's this? What's all this, newbie?" And
Yeah.
he sees 20 grand. He's like, "What kind of con artist are you?" That's terrible price.
Yeah. He's not very good at this.
Yeah. Uh,
But yeah, I think that's why he introduces himself as Nicholas D. Wolfwood, uh, which is pretty cool. Cool name. And of course, I like that Vash introduces himself as Vash the Stampede. He doesn't just say Vash. He's like, no, I'll go with the whole destructive title. It's all good.
the type.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like, it would have been worse if he'd introduced himself as the humanoid typhoon. That's for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think just as they do that, the ground starts to shake and rumble violently. And all of a sudden, we're in a scene from the movie Dune,
No,
and a
man.
giant sandworm
Tremors.
devours the whole. Yeah, Tremors, Dune, Beetlejuice. It's all there.
It was Tremors, man. It was like, holy shit.
Well,
This,
to
like,
be
brought.
fair,
Oh,
Dune was 1984, and that was the movie. The book was long before that.
oh, yeah, I get that. I understand the movie was 1984. Tremors was probably a bit after that, actually.
It's 19. I want to say 1990.
1990, you think?
Yeah, I
87.
think so.
I think 87.
Oh, I'll take the bet. We'll do Price is Right rules. Let's find out.
Price is Right rules.
Oh, 1990 on the dot.
Higher. Higher.
You're still wrong.
Lower.
Yeah, also wrong. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if you've watched the new Dune. I quite liked it, but
I I watched some of it, but
mhm.
I was watching it with my folks. My dad's like,
I,
she'd never watched them, apparently, and still can't.
it well, to be fair, the movie is like almost 3 hours long.
Both of them?
So wait, oh, the first one's maybe not as long as that. I feel like the
This
new one is though.
felt, it always felt really long, the first one. I
I
don't
think
think I ever
that's
watched it all.
I think that's a quality problem.
Yeah, it had Patrick Stewart in it.
It did, and Sting and Cal
Oh,
McLaughlin,
oh yeah, Sting. Remember Sting?
Jurgen Prochnow. Yeah,
Jurgen Prochnow. Oh, jeez. There's
yeah,
the name.
and yeah, I think it's 2 hours 17, and actually, yeah, the new one is only 2 hours 35. So yeah, they're not far off each other.
Yeah, I think even the new ones, they didn't do like cut it short. It's not like the whole thing. There might be
So, well,
another one
the thing
coming out.
is, yeah, I think that was the reason that the first June was not that great, was that they really crammed that story into that 2 hours,
Yeah,
and they only did like a fraction of the story in nearly 3 hours this time, and now they're doing a part two.
yeah, yeah.
So, which is this year actually.
Oh, the new one's coming out this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um, I really like the new one, so I'd like to watch the second part. But anyway, I digress. Their entire petrol
Mhm.
station or gas station or refueling station and all of themselves are swallowed whole by a giant sandworm.
See, I was going to say Gears of War 2.
Oh yeah,
It was
I
2, wasn't
forgot
it?
about those.
Was
It
that
was,
3?
yeah, because after you chainsaw out of them,
Yeah.
and Baird says, "I've got blood in my mouth, and it's not even mine."
Baird was always a classy character.
I remember that line to this day, like it's the first time I've ever heard it. Every time I remember it,
Such a
it's so
classy
so
character.
funny, man. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. But yeah, you're right. It does have a bit of that in it.
Yeah. Um. So anyway, yeah. So they kind of get swallowed up, and then for whatever reason, the kid kind of runs away.
Yeah, just gone.
Yeah. Just. I think they're having
Sure.
an argument about something, and then
Yeah.
kid just walks away. So then they go find her. They got 4 random arteries to go through.
Oh god. I'm not gonna lie to you. Episode 3 was amazing. I'm a bit upset that this is the episode introduction for Wolfwood.
Oh, what are you on about, man? This is the exact same kind of episode you loved in Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, it was like it was like the whole aliens thing. The whole thing looked like something out of Geiger's imagination. The inner of the worm.
I just didn't even strike me that much as interesting, this one, which is a
Oh,
real shame.
there's probably misses. Oh yeah,
Yeah, like, yeah, that aside, yeah, kid runs off, and of course, yeah, they have to choose which way to go to
yeah,
find them.
yeah. And so they split off in 4 bits because they get 4 of these arteries to go up, and it cuts to Meryl finding the kid lying unconscious.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, lying unconscious, and then something appears behind Meryl, and then yeah, that was it. And then the next thing you know, Vash and everyone kind of meet up at the other side of the arteries because they all go to the same place or come
Yep.
back. I don't
It's
know. I
not
don't.
super clear, but you're right.
They all meet up in this random area in the beast.
Yeah, except Meryl.
Except Meryl, and they're like, "Oh shit, we've got to go and find them." And then Roberto disappears like right there on the spot. Just goes,
Just vanishes.
just vanishes. And then Wilfred and Vash go wandering. And Whittle, you better stop wandering around in circles then. And then next thing they kind of get spat out of the worm.
We should probably mention as well is that Wolfwood has not stopped smoking since he got inside the worm.
Yeah. See, when they had when he gave the lollipop out, I was like, oh shit, I've censored the smoking on him.
Yeah, they get spat out.
Yeah. There's a scene somewhere along the lines where Wilfred basically asked for a cigarette off of Roberto. Roberto says, "Do you think I'm a charity or something?"
Oh no, I think that's after, isn't it?
I might be,
Yeah, that's towards the end.
yeah. Anyway, so they get spat out, and then the worm dudes are there and going, "Holy moly, that's a big one!" Oh, they had an argument about people being able to control the worms.
Worms. Yeah, that's right.
I think that was Roberto, was it? And he
I think
blamed
it
Wolfwood,
was.
and then
Yes.
Wolfwood says, "Nah, it's not me, mate." And then stands in and goes, "You know what? I think I believe this guy. No, it wasn't him.
Yep.
He's got a good heart,
Uh,
or
yeah, he
something."
does. He does say that. He does have a good. Or he says those are the eyes of someone who cares or something like that. And you're like, I, sure.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you just trust a random stranger. It's all good.
He likes doing that.
He does. It is his biggest character flaw.
Or his biggest character feature.
Yes, it is an endearing character trait. However, it can get you into a lot of problems when you just have it unchecked.
Yeah, these things be like that guy. So, yeah, so he
So they've been
goes,
spat out, yeah.
yeah, they got spat out, and then
I
basically,
think the worm hunters are going like, no. It's like, oh, run this way. You need to
yeah,
get out of the way of it. And Wolfwood's like, we're gonna go. Let's get out of here. And Vash is like, nah, I'm gonna get my friends.
yeah,
And you can see the worm hunters going, no, don't don't stand in front of it. That's stupid.
yeah,
Run away.
yeah, yeah. And then and they're back in the world.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the
Wait,
bump.
did they get back in the worm? Is it Wolfwood who gets them back in?
Uh, I don't know. Can't
Is this?
remember.
It, I can't remember if this is the bit where he whips out the cross for
No,
the
no,
first time.
no. I think that's
Is that
inside.
inside the worm? Okay.
Yeah, inside the worm because they they meet the kid inside the
Yeah.
worm. And go,
Yeah, you're right. That's right.
and go, you're the one that controls the worms.
Yep.
And
And the
then,
kid's like, "Yup, it's
yeah,
me."
it's me. And also, as you're fools, you think a crying kid next to a couple dead bodies is the child type thing. I played you all for fools.
To be fair, I also immediately went to the that poor kid.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was her name? She said, "You can call me."
Oh no, no, no. She doesn't say that. It's that's later in another conversation. All they do is like they put on a mask that makes them look like Skull Kid from Majora's Mask. It just flies out the side of
Uh,
the thing.
I thought, well, Wilford, did he not blast the hole in the
He
side?
that's how they escape because there's a huge hole in the side of the worm now. Because
Yeah.
Wolfwood's like one of those guys with a sign telling you where to buy a subway, going
Oh yeah.
with his cross,
Yeah.
and it looks really damn cool.
Yeah. Well, it's all right. But she had the power to like even control the innards of the worm, where it kind of like
That's true.
starts sucking Vash in.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right. Because yeah, he's getting sucked into the ground, and he's like, I'm gonna blast this," and you're like, "Oh, he's gonna shoot Vash," and then he shoots around Vash to release him from the ground, and then blasts the hole in the side of the worm.
Oh, I,
It's very cool.
I
I,
saw
I
the
like the I like the cross gun. It's a very cool gun.
It's ridiculous. It's
It's
always
it's completely absurd.
Almost as ridiculous as Gungrave's gun.
I have yet to watch Gungrave. I'll need to do that at some point.
I got the game.
And oh, the new one.
No, the one that came out to PS2.
Oh wow, nice.
And then when I heard they made a new one, I was like, what? And I think the new
Yep.
one's, I thought the new one's VR.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
I haven't seen. It can't all be in VR because I've seen it being played normally,
Oh, well, maybe
and
not all of it.
it looks like a proper 360 generation character action game.
Yeah, with better graphics, right?
Yeah, in the best way possible. You know, like I had a great affinity for those kind of character action games in that time. So
Yeah, it's mental, but yeah, Gungrave's another one we could watch because it's mental. That's just fucking insane. It's a weird ass show, that one.
yeah, I never. I'd had suggested potentially doing Shinsekai Yori,
Which one's that again?
Into the New World. Is it Into the New World? I think that's what it's called.
It's the New
Uh,
World.
from the New World.
From the New World.
Yeah, and it's like uh it's a weird place where everyone has powers and shit, and there's mole people, and yeah.
Oh wait, is that? Oh, I think I've seen that. It's like got some weird creature doing it.
Yes. It's been a while. Like I watched it as soon as it came out.
All right. And then they not like
In
do
fact,
some genocide kind of motion in a cave.
uh, yes, they did.
Eh, I
Yeah. I
saw,
like that show. It was good.
yeah, I saw some clips of it. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think it showed all the genocide because probably got banned on YouTube. But
No, I watched it all. I think it would be on its first release on Crunchyroll, which would be like probably the year after it was released, so about 10 years ago.
oh, I must be thinking of somewhere else then.
You sure?
Possibly. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you're right.
Eh,
So the little kid has now escaped out the side of the giant worm.
Yeah.
Uh, and
That's-
Wolfwood's like, well, it's time to end this.
Yeah.
And he just like goes full on cyber madman with his cross and like, yep, let's just turn this bad boy around, turn on this laser, and just like fires a really powerful beam out the top of the worm, and then it cuts to outside of the worm, and it just goes whoop
Yeah.
right round it, and the worm just falls in half.
Yep. And the worm people are like, whoa.
They're very happy because they have food.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, here's a point though, and
uh-huh.
I did want to ask this because immediately when that happened, I was like, that was awesome. I wonder if we know if Meryl and Roberto survived.
Yeah.
Because I hope they weren't in a direct line with the worm, because otherwise they're dust.
Yeah. But apparently not.
Yeah, apparently they're just fine.
Also, Majora's Mask is like, I'll get you next time, Gadget.
That's right. Oh, it's beautiful.
I'll
And
get
yeah,
you next time, Gadget. I can't
then
do the
it cuts
voice.
to it's a tough voice.
Mm.
They all cut to I think them having a little camping thing, cooking some food on the fire with the worm hunters. And they're all like, "Yeah, this is amazing!" Getting Meryl to try and eat some some
Or,
some worm, basically.
mm.
And is it Vash who's like eating away now? He's decided he can eat because he can be happy. Because Wolfwood told that kid they could be happy, even though they were sad. And he's like, "I could be happy. This is fine."
Some along those lines. Yeah. And
It is
Meryl's,
almost as it's batshit logic because I think he even says to Wolfwood, "He's like, I deserve this, right?" I can be happy. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah. Is Meryl is totally disgusted by it, and Wilf is trying to force it down her face.
That's right. I think this is the bit where they're having the conversation as well, where he's like trying to get, he just like bums a cigarette from Roberto immediately, and he's like, "You seem to be under the misapprehension that I am generous. I am not."
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, and that's essentially the end of that episode.
Well, it cuts to Wolfwood later on,
Mm-hmm.
secretly meeting the Mask Child.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
This is where we find out that the name of Mask Child is Zazie the Beast.
Zazie the Beast.
Zazie. It's interesting, Zazie the Beast, because I believe there is a pop artist called Zazie Beats. So it's all I heard.
Zazie Beast. Oh dear.
Zazie, Zazie Beats. Yeah, it is. There's like literally someone called Zazie Beats. They're not pop artists. Sorry, they're an actress. Apologies. But
Oh,
yeah, I was like, oh man.
maybe,
In
maybe it's
fact,
this.
who is that? That's the person who plays Domino in Deadpool 2.
Yeah, that sounds about
There you
right.
go.
The Zazie Beats.
Yeah. And of course, at this point, it's also alluded to that Zazie the Beast and also Wolfwood might just be employees of a certain brother of a certain person.
Is it?
I think so. I think they're alluding to the fact that they're being paid to do that, and also Zazzy's like, because you're just gonna toy with them and then kill them because you like doing that, right, Wolfwood? And he's like, yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'll be interested to see how this turns out.
yeah. I definitely can't go badly, right?
Nope, can't go badly. I mean, in the original, it wasn't like straight off the bat, I'm a double agent.
No, there was definitely time.
Sometime, yeah. Uh, yeah. So, yeah, so that's that. That's the end. You've
Yeah.
untangled the mysteries straight away. And,
Actually, I've just realized where the name Hungry comes from because that's what Wolfwood shouts before he blows a hole in the worm.
is it?
He goes, yeah, because he's like, "Hey, hungry," and then just shoots a massive hole inside the worm. I'd forgotten about that.
I mean, that could be it. Yeah, I liked how
Uh,
she puts the mask on and the mask, and then she's like picked up by like this like random flying bug thing that clearly doesn't have the strength to carry her away,
but it did it.
but it did it.
Uh, yeah, I. How do you rate this one, Colin?
It has some humor in it. I very much didn't pay much attention to it. I saw the flashy lip work, thingy the lip,
Uh-huh.
and I think there's another scene that we might have missed at the end
Did
where
we?
people discussed that Vash may have used his abilities.
Oh,
I think right at the end,
yeah, you might be right.
or is that the start of the next one? No, that's the start of the next one.
Uh, I, uh, I, mm,
I don't know. It wasn't. It didn't hold my interest, but I
no,
don't know if that's because I watched it in a rush because I had to go and do something else.
I, d- I, I think it just felt like a lot to happen in a short space of time. Like it felt to me like that was a couple of episodes worth of stuff, and
Yeah,
nothing was ever really elaborated on. Like the whole thing of like them getting lost in the worm and being like taken away one at a time happened in about 60 seconds. It's like, yeah, but you could have like eked that out a bit and made it a bit more suspenseful and like, you know, driven that home a little bit. And also sort of the fight, despite being really cool, was over very quickly. And also like things were revealed almost immediately within the episode as well. It's like, I can't contain this anymore. I'm kind of a bad guy. Oh shit.
Yeah, very much. I was, yeah, I don't know if that's just because they just quite kind of do it within 10 episodes, the whole thing.
12. I
12.
think you're right though. I think you're right. I think it's like it's important to get this stuff out of the way and have this be a part of it.
Mm.
But it feels I think like considering the previous episodes where they felt really well paced
Mm.
and very sort of narrative driven and interesting, this one definitely felt almost like a side quest episode and yet introduced one of the most like the main characters in the show.
Yeah, yeah, Wolfwood, man. He's the dude. But
You gotta love him.
how's he going to get his love interest though?
Find out.
Who's going to convert him to be good? Because it wasn't
Maybe
Vash.
maybe Vash this time.
Maybe. Because it wasn't Vash
So what
last time.
no. What's your score then?
6 or 7.
I I think it's a 6.
It's rather than on 7.
It's I was almost at a low 7, but like as an intro, like I really liked the actual introduction of Wolfwood was really funny and really humorous. And I was kind of with the episode up until they went into the worm, and then I think it just kind of fell apart a little bit in there.
Yeah,
Um,
I think you're right.
like I
Yeah.
say, which coincidentally I think is like almost is like close to the half of the episode. Sort of, it just yeah. I think they tried to do too much in that last half too quickly. It just didn't feel paced right for me. So yeah, I think I'd probably go with a 6 as well.
Yeah. It's just it was kind of interesting for the first part, and then, like you said, going in the worm, and it's like, oh, in the worm. All right. Oh, like everyone's
No,
split up now.
now we're
Right.
out the worm. Now
Oh,
we're
we're out
back
the.
in the worm.
Oh man, it's Gears of War 2.
It is.
Didn't they go back into the worm?
I think they did. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the worm and then went back in. They went
Was
up.
it-
Yeah, it was Gears of War 2 where it was like on land, underneath the land,
Yeah.
on land, underground again,
Yeah.
on land, underground again, and we're now
Still
in the
waiting for
worm.
that remake. I would kill for a remake of Gears of War 2.
Did the remake 1?
Yeah, they did an Ultimate Edition of one. Yeah.
Well, it must be over 10 years now.
Oh yes, Gears of War 2 was 2009, 2008.
Oh, coming up for the 20th. That's the 25th anniversary. No, the 15th anniversary this year.
It's the 15th anniversary for sure, and Gears of War 1 I think was 2006.
Yeah.
And then 3 I think was 2010.
Wonder if they want
But
to do that though, because they're not just kind of remaster them all.
I would be all right with actually I would prefer a remake of the second one, like a proper build it in the new engine thing.
Yeah, and the Gear 6 engine. It's Gear
Well,
6,
whatever
isn't it?
if Gears 6 is even a thing.
Gear 5 wasn't the
I
last
think
one.
yeah, 5 was the last. Presumably it is though, right? Like
The
has
last
to
one.
be. Oh well, Gears of War 6 has to be a thing, surely.
Yeah, like the try. I don't actually think I've completed 5. I haven't seen the
Oh, it was
trailer.
good.
I just played multiplayer all the time.
It was better than 4. Yeah, Gears of War.
Yeah,
Holy shit! Gears of War 5 was 2019.
yeah, it was just for a lot then.
Damn.
Plus, yeah, I played 4. I was like, right, fuck it, play through 4. And then I got to the end of 4. I was like, oh god, can't be bothered playing 5. And then when you go to 5, it's like a completely different story altogether. They just like ditched the 4's ending almost to the bit.
Gears of War 3 was 2011. Shit,
Uh,
that's crazy.
I think the second or uh, midnight release I went to.
Yeah, I went to the Gears of War 2 midnight release. I went to the Gears of War 3 midnight release,
Yeah, I didn't do
and
it
I
too.
went to the Halo 3 midnight release, and I went to the Grand Theft Auto 4 midnight release.
Yeah,
And
Grand Theft Auto 4 midnight release is the reason I got an Xbox.
yep, because you bought the game and didn't have a console.
Yeah, I was in there and the doors kind of got locked in the game station. I was like, oh shit, I took some of the
Better buy
space.
something.
I better buy something.
Amazing.
And then I got my Halo 3 limited edition uh, Xbox
Xbox.
because it was on the cheap.
Nice.
And then
Nice.
the Red Ring died. Boop, 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 boop.
I think I might have like upwards of 4 broken Xbox 360s in this house.
Oh, Jesus, man. 4.
Yeah.
Oh, Red Ring?
Yes.
All overheat.
Yeah. Well, 2 of them are dev kits.
Oh, is that just they just kind of like got the death signal sent to them because they realized it wasn't
No. No, I think they think they were broken on arrival.
all right.
I've never taken them apart to take a look because I probably could fix them.
Oh, the Red Ring. It's yeah, it was like a transistor melted on mine, and I tried to fix it.
But it depends, like because I think when mine red ringed originally, it was a surge power surge cracked the solder to the uh one of the daughter boards, I think.
Yeah, no, mine was definitely a transistor or something fell off
Yeesh.
because it finally I was like, oh yeah, I can get it back on, and I kind of like do this, and it worked for a bit, and then it just kind of went, you know what?
I'm done.
I'm done, and then it actually fell off. I was, oh, well, I'm not fixing that.
Then you turned it into a PC.
Yeah, well, I ripped out the contents and turned it into a PC.
Didn't
Still have
I?
it.
Didn't I help you Didn't I help you solder in the power
Oh,
of
the
that?
maybe, yeah,
I'm sure at one point we had it hooked up so that the power button actually powered on
yeah.
the
But
PC.
and then that I think that failed because I think we
Yeah.
were ended up crossing things. So I now
As
got
you
like
say, of course it failed. It involved me soldering something.
yeah. I think we weren't didn't use like the proper soldering tool, as in like
My soldering is not good.
that's the big one. And then I just solder in the actual like switch. Click click.
Nice. That'll do
But
it.
but it's, you can only if you got to kind of flick it on and flick it off. Otherwise, you flick it on and it has constant power and then it just turns itself off as you
It's
do.
amazing.
It was just a
Amazing.
weak flicky switch. Still there, still got it. It's in the arcade.
Nice. Is it
And
powering the arcade?
power and part of it, the
Ah,
the main part. I need
nice.
to sort that out properly. Just sitting in the living
Well,
room. No,
that is a conversation for another podcast.
but that is Colin does podcast arcade.
That's call it Colin's Arcade
Yeah,
coming soon.
maybe.
Yeah. Well, we've managed to do it again. Another episode has been recorded.
Mhm.
Um,
Not in time though.
episode 4. Sorry, yeah, no, not in time. That's fair. But yeah, episode 4 done and dusted. I'm hoping episode 5 will lead to be a little bit more interesting. So this one, the next one, episode 5, we'll be recording hopefully on time and getting that released. Of course, Who's That Anime is an anime podcast that you can find at anchor.fm/Who's That Anime and can be found where all good podcasts can be found or anywhere you can use an RSS feed. I think we're contractually obliged to probably say that you can find it on Spotify at this point because we're on Anchor, which is now Spotify for podcasters, I think is the thing. So,
I
well,
never read the terms and conditions, man.
no, it's all right. I'm mentioning it now just in case. But we also have a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Who's That Anime, where we post the latest episodes and the occasional anime meme. We have a Discord. I will have the link for that in the show notes. We also have a YouTube channel where Colin painstakingly puts together the video components of these episodes. We're now sort of up to date with episodes in terms of releasing them close enough to the actual release of the podcast. So the next episode we put up will be this one too. You can find that by going to youtube.com and searching for the channel Who's That Anime. I think we have an @ on YouTube now. It's @ Who's That Anime. So you should be able to search that, I think. I'll look into that too. Colin and I occasionally like to play video games. Colin does this at twitch.tv/couchfuel. What the fuck? What happened?
That's YouTube Shorts. Sorry, man. Goddamn YouTube.
Some things that really suck about summer. Speaking of YouTube, but yeah, I like to play things on twitch.tv/HalePayman. There is a good archive of both of the contents from both of those Twitch channels on YouTube if you search for the YouTube channels Couch Fuel or Hale Payman. And I think that's us, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's
Holy
us.
shit.
We're done. Again. We're there. Ending the episode.
Oh. And we'll be back.
Ending this.
Yeah.
And oh.
End it?
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's what I'm thinking of. It's the scene where Harry in Harry Birdman where Falcon 7 is trying to open his locked door just before he goes, it's missing, the one where he got Black Watch found.
Yes.
And he's just like on about putting his keys into the hole. There we go. There.
I thought you were doing the whole, it's me, Phil, Ken, Seb, Ben.
Yeah.
Oh, what a show. What a show.
Missed that. Anyway. But no, as it kind of was, but it was just I don't know why that scene came into my head. It was like just getting these keys in this door.
He's wearing an eye patch. It's important detail.
He's and it's a peripheral version. It's peripheral version.
Peripheral vision. And depth perception.
Oh yeah, it's quite impaired. He always points in the most random place that seems to be far off, like from where he's looking. It's like always like.
It's a great show. Still need to watch Bird Girl.
Or not there. And Harvey is sitting on the table instead of the chair.
So good. Anyway, we'll be back next week for episode 5.
Same anime time, same anime place. Catch you later.
You know some things that suck about summer?